Bushnell, industry leaders in high-performance sports optics. Federal Premium Ammunition, every shot counts. Savage Arms and Stephen Shotguns, the definition of accuracy. Gold Tip, the toughest arrows you will ever shoot. Damn straight. King's Camo, wherever you hunt, King's has you covered. Westside Stores, your outdoor sports authority. And these other fine sponsors.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect. This week we have a very special hunt planned for you. I'm going to be hunting with my father, and Dean's going to be hunting with his father-in-law right here in Manitoba for some whitetail deer.
That's right, Kenton. I mean, you're going to be joining your dad during the muzzleloader season, which is a lot earlier in the season, chasing these big bucks. And then my dad and I are going to be flying out for the rifle season at the very last part. And I mean, I know this hunt is very special to me, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't hunted with my father for almost 20 years for whitetail deer, and I'm really looking forward to getting in the field, so let's not waste any more time. The time of the year is early November here in Manitoba, and the whitetail rut's just starting to amp up. A telltale sign of that is my archery target usually takes a kicking from some aggressive buck. Now, I wasn't very successful during the archery season, but it's still on. But right now, the muzzleloader season has just started, so this week I'm going to be joining with my father, Clarence Michie, and we're going to be going out and trying to get a couple whitetail bucks here in Manitoba with the muzzleloader. Now, for some of you viewers can notice I'm wearing a bandage on my face. You're wondering why. Well, I had a little mishap at the range the other day. It's always important to be safe no matter where you are, but I had what is called a hang fire on my muzzleloader. And with that, I accidentally loosened my grip on the muzzleloader, and the result was the gun came back and whacked me in the nose. So that's why I'm bandaged up. That's why I look like a raccoon. I got a couple black eyes, but that's not going to affect our hunt at all. We're going to be heading out to the blind here right away. I'm going to go pick up my dad. Well, it's the first evening I'm sitting with my father, Clarence Michie. We're going to see if we can't get us a couple Manitoba whitetail with the musket, with the old muzzleloader. We just arrived to our spot. We've got a bit of a walk to get out to it. I set up one of the Primos XXL blinds and some of the chairs in there. We got the Primos shooting sticks all ready to go, so it's going to be a good evening. So
this should be good, nice and quiet.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet, a little bit foggy, but
wee breeze from the south.
Yeah, and we've got some deer moving already, so let's get out there. Well, our first evening sit here, we just got all settled in, and the harvesting machines, the combines started working. Are just on the other side of the fence flying from us here. So they work for about, I don't know, half an hour, and they're gone now. So, oh look, Dad, deer just come out of that little round bush. See it?
Right at the end of the bush?
Yeah, two does. Keeping an eye on that coyote. We just had a coyote walk through, and now we've got a couple does that just come out of the trees over here. Well, Dad, that kind of spells it for this evening. We had a pretty fun night. I think we saw, what was it, 2 coyotes and 3 or 4 does. Didn't see any bucks, but...
Oh, well, it'll come.
Yeah, it was a good sit. Nice spot here.
Beautiful. Nice and warm.
Yeah, it wasn't cold at all. The temperature's starting to drop now, but So we're going to just wrap things up here for tonight. We'll be back out tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to hunt here. We might hunt another spot, but yeah, it's starting to get active.
Yeah.
The bucks are starting to move around, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get one tomorrow.
That little doe would have had any amount of antlers, we'd have had some camp meat.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay tuned for more hunting action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect after this commercial break.
Let's just say you're in too big a hurry and what if?
How about
Yes, that's covered. No matter how it gets broken, shattered, cracked, or crushed. The yes, that's covered, no questions asked, lifetime warranty from Bushnell has your back. We'll repair or replace your product and ship it back at no cost to you. It's the strongest warranty in the business for when you need it most. Only from Bushnell.
Combine a singular mission with a revolutionary design, and the result is something extraordinary. Match-grade accuracy. Devastating performance. The industry's best components, tested twice as often as standard ammunition to meet our tightest specs. It all comes together to become something more than a cartridge. Federal Premium Trophy Bonded Tip. Surgical precision. Terminal results.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Hunting Consultants Plus, more than just a booking agency. Now, let's return to the action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, it's our third evening sitting out here in Manitoba. It's sure warm, isn't it, Dad?
Yep, real warm.
I mean, it's unbelievably warm for this time of year in Manitoba. It's about second week in November, and it is probably plus 18 today. So it's kind of got the bucks moving at night. I checked the camera at this location earlier today, and there's been a few bucks moving around in the early evening, so we're hoping that tonight's the night.
Should be 3 times.
Yeah, third time the charm. So
Yep.
we'll get the camera swung around and get settled into our Primos blind here and wait it out for another evening.
It's comfortable. If it was 18 below, I'd have more clothes on, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That gets a hard thumping.
Yeah, that's a good buck, too. What do you think of that, Dad?
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting here, just enjoying the nice weather, and all of a sudden Dad reaches over and touches my leg, and I knew what he was doing. I slowly turned my head, and not 30 yards from us, a really nice buck was standing there looking at us. The buck was looking directly into the sun, which kind of was in our favor, but he was so close we couldn't move to get the gun out the window of the hut. And finally he smelled us because the wind was going right at him. And by the time we got the gun and the camera and everything ready to out the side window, he was already at the tree line and he knew the jig was up. Okay, the doe just come through.
Okay.
Yeah, here he comes right there. There's the little buck. You nailed him, Dad. Dead center.
I heard the smack.
Yeah, that's it. That buck's down.
We got some meat for the winter for sure.
Awesome. Awesome, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, congratulations. That's a nice little buck there. That'll be some good venison for the freezer. You know, the Bushnell Trophy class scope that we've got on my muzzleloader here was dialed right in. We're shooting Alliant MZ black powder, and the 240 grain bullet, you slipped it right in the boiler room. I mean, that buck didn't hardly go anywhere, did he?
No, he was down.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that was my first shot with that gun, so he dialed in right.
Yeah, well, this will be some really good eating. I mean, we haven't hunted deer. Dad and I haven't hunted deer together for almost 20 years. He had a lot darker mustache, and I had a lot longer hair back then. But I sure had a lot of fun with you in the blind.
It was good.
Yeah.
Real good.
Bushnell's Trigger Effect will return shortly after this commercial break.
After being the first woman to earn the title Grandmaster, some might think Jessie Duff has nothing left to prove.
They'd be wrong. I'm always pursuing that next level of speed and efficiency in competition or practice.
Hoppy's Bore Snake and Hoppy's number 9. The fastest gun cleaning solution on the planet, trusted by world champion Jessie Duff.
Hunting requires adapting, from the shot you planned to the one you didn't expect. Nothing adapts your shot like the Trigger Stick series. Monopod, bipod, and tripod, all engineered for smooth, accurate adjustments. Short sticks for the ground and kneeling. Tall sticks for the chair and standing. Just squeeze the trigger and adjust. Adapt with accuracy with the Trigger Stick series from Primos. Speak the language.
For more information on Bushnell's Trigger Effect, visit our website or Facebook. Now, back to the action.
Well, that was a lot of fun. My father and I didn't have a lot of time to sit out in the stand. I mean, we were out in about 3 different sits, but it happened pretty quick. That little buck come running in, and the way it all played out, I couldn't be happier. And I know my dad's really excited. He's got some great meat, and you can just see it in his face. He had a lot of fun.
Well, and that's the thing that really caught me, Kent, on that one. Like, I mean, I think you were as excited as your dad.
Oh, yeah.
But it was so neat to be able to see your dad, reconnect with you, because I know he was a huge influence on you when you were a kid.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we did a lot of hunting when I was younger, and Dad kind of got out of it. And to see that kind of excitement in him again at 70 plus years old, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Well, and I will admit, after watching that footage, now I'm amped up. I cannot wait to get out into the field with my dad and see if I can, have the same kind of results.
Well, we're out here on the 3rd morning, and we had a major cold front come in. It's -14 with a feel of -20 right now. However, the good news is, from the moment we got in the stand, we've had deer moving all around us. Bucks, does. We haven't seen anything really big, but we did see a nice 4-point first thing, eh, Dad?
Yeah. Yes.
We're really optimistic about today. Sometimes these changing weather can really change the deer's activities, and hopefully once the sun comes up, those deer will be stepping out into the open to get a little bit of that solar effect. But we'll get the cameras turned around and get back to some hunting here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Lethbridge College proudly presents Conservation Connection.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here at Conservation Connection at Lethbridge College. As many of you may know, white-tailed deer are probably one of the most sought-after trophies of any hunter here in North America. Joining me today is the wildlife biologist from Lethbridge College, Shane Roarsma. Shane, can you tell us a little bit about whitetail deer?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a very sought-after species. It's been a long and storied love affair with whitetails since Europeans first came to this continent. Up until the 1800s, we started to see the market hunt, and that was a definite depression on that population. And as the scientific name suggests, Odocoileus virginianus, they have more of a southeastern range, at least naturally. Okay, but with the expansion of agriculture, they've dramatically expanded their range into the Midwest, into portions of Canada, even portions of northern Canada in some cases. Yeah. So ironically, they're one of the species that have actually benefited to a certain degree from agriculture, where most often we hear about agricultural expansion causing the demise of habitat for a variety of other species. But there is a threshold to this, right? If we have just nothing but agriculture and none of this habitat that we see behind us here, then we'll have those populations drop off again. So if we have shelter belts, riparian areas, forest blocks, in close proximity to some agricultural areas, be that cornfields, wheat fields, these kinds of things, that tends to actually support whitetail populations. If agriculture becomes too dramatic, 75, 80, 90%, then you start to see those populations drop off. So with some proper management, we can support this population for harvest in perpetuity.
Well, thank you very much there, Shane. Now let's get back to some Bushnell's trigger effect.
Well, we had a little bit of excitement. We were just sitting here and I glanced over and I saw a smaller 4x4 buck and it was acting really weird, and next thing I know, right behind it was a doe with crooked 4 flat out on the doe, and I was trying to get Dad set up, and what happened, Dad?
I got buck fever.
Dad got buck fever. But in all honesty, I mean, that's why we do this, Dad. I mean, getting exciting seeing those big bucks. Good thing.
It definitely was big.
Yeah, that was a big buck, so.
Makes everything look like nothing.
Now you know I made you hold out. Anyways, the good news is we didn't really spook it. It was preoccupied chasing does, so we're just gonna sit here really quiet and cross our fingers that it comes back out and gives Dad another opportunity. I actually just saw it run right on the backside of the field. So, they're on the move. Let's get the camera turned around and see if we can get my dad crooked 4.
Yeah, man.
Well, Dad, what'd you think of that morning?
Oh, super. Man, that when crooked 4 came out, it's just unbelievable. We must have seen 60 deer this morning, but
yeah, it was.
That one there will be in my mind for a long time.
It's gonna haunt you in your dreams.
Oh, is it ever? That is a big deer.
We had an amazing morning, folks. I mean, we had deer running everywhere. Pretty sure I caught a glimpse of a big buck that Kent calls Sherman, and then we definitely saw crooked 4. It's gonna haunt Dad for a long time, but we're gonna. It's kind of at the latter part of the morning. We're gonna sneak out of here, go get a breakfast, and then we'll definitely be back in the stand tonight. Dad needs some redemption. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.
More Bushnell's trigger effect after these important messages.
It's about time. Introducing the A17 from Savage Arms, the first rimfire autoloader specifically designed for high-performance Magnum cartridges. Like the 17 HMR, Savage didn't attempt to modify an old design to fire a modern cartridge. They created a completely new rifle with multiple patents pending to offer the performance, safety, and reliability you expect from a Savage. It's time to get yours.
They've got the eyes of an apex predator and a body that could tie a crowbar in a knot. They're razor sharp and built for blunt force. Precision optics that can chew up and spit out anything Mother Nature can dish out. The new Legend binoculars by Bushnell. Available in 3 series, all featuring patented Rain Guard HD. They're bright and clear and built for conditions that are anything but. Only by Bushnell.
Welcome back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
There's a deer right there. Oh, yeah. I see it. It's that 3x2. It's that nice little buck. Okay. you see that buck? It's right over there. See how? Kent, do you think we should reposition? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just get him up that side, but he'll just come up the gun. You on him?
Yeah, I'm on him.
Okay, I'm gonna stop him.
Okay. Way to go.
That was a good hit, Dad.
Last day, Ted.
Last day, Ted. Way to go, Dad. That was a beauty shot.
Thanks, guys. Oh, God. Oh.
Here, let me take the gun from you there.
Nice shot.
That was a beautiful shot, Dad.
Oh. I didn't panic on that shot. Not like I did at the range. It just seemed so natural when it was, oh God.
Your first Manitoba whitetail, Dad. Here you go. You got to keep that for good luck.
Oh, you got that right.
That's your federal nozzler. Knocked her down. What a beauty. That's going to be a good eating deer, Dad.
Oh.
We'll just give it a bit. That was a hard hit, though. I saw the hit. Congratulations.
I can feel it.
Jesus, hey.
How you doing, hon?
Good, how are you?
Dad has something to tell you.
Guess what?
Okay.
I just shot my first Manitoba buck.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm still shaking.
Well, here we are. My dad got his very first Manitoba whitetail. Dad, what do you think of that?
Hey, that was something else. Still shaking.
Well, and the funny thing is, we got to hurry up because Dad catches a plane in a couple hours. He's got to head home. But Dad, I just want to say, I mean, we sat in some really cold mornings, and it was. Mama is going to be so happy to have some whitetail in the freezer, eh?
Oh, you bet. And this is a prime. This is prime.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, it was a fantastic shot with the 180 grain nozzler. From where you hit it to where it landed, that federal ammunition just anchored it in about 5 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever seen my dad that excited. I mean, it was a little bit of a recoup for him because he had Crooked 4 come out, and he had never seen a big Manitoba whitetail buck like that before, and for him to just execute that last one flawlessly was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and you know what? I really want to thank you for letting me join you on that. I was filming for you guys, and to see that kind of excitement in the men that we consider our mentors is exhilarating for sure.
That's right. And Kent, I'd really like to thank you because, folks, in behind the scenes, what you didn't see is for 2 months, Kent ran cameras and everything like that to put us into areas where these bucks were. However, it wouldn't be proper for me not to mention my father. My dad unfortunately passed away just prior to season 1. He never got to really be a part of Trigger Effect. No. And I'd really like to dedicate this episode to my father, just to say thank you, because in all honesty, and Kent, you had mentioned this to me, our fathers are our mentors. They're the ones who introduced us to this field. This is a great opportunity for us to pay it forward. Yeah. So if you have a chance to pay it forward, you do not want to miss it because, I mean, as you can see in this episode, it enriched our lives. So join us next week for another exciting episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Canadian Wild Turkey Federation is a proud conservation partner of Bushnell's Trigger Effect. Taxidermy services for Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Really excited. I mean, that was...
You're so excited, you're speechless.
Yeah, I'm going to restart that.
Congratulations.
I can feel it. Oh, man, that was... Oh.
What can't I tell you? That last day, last minute buck, I don't know what it is.
They just know they had to do it for me.
That's awesome.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.